Hey there, everybody. So it's me again. And if you are new to the channel, which of course you would have to be because the channel is new, I am Blind Hussy, and I live in Pennsylvania, a rural little place in Pennsylvania. And I do reselling. I sell across a bunch of locations, Poshmark and eBay and Mercari, and just a lot of places, as well as in person and across Facebook Marketplace. So I wanted to, what I said I would do today, and I'm going to try to stick to my list. I'm going to try and keep this short. I was originally going to do all 30 of the other YouTubers in just one giant list, but I think I'm actually going to break it up into 3 parts of 10 each with 1 or 2 extra bonuses, because there are a couple of things. I don't know that I can get all of the proper links and information in the description the way I would like to, and I don't want to take any opportunity to get, away in the weeds. I want to stick to my list and then stick to a general description of 1 or 2 of them. So they are not all of the YouTube channels that I'm going to mention are about reselling. Most of them are, but there are a small number of them that I like for other reasons. I like because they deal with small business financials, or because they deal with financial information in this kind of economy that we're having to deal with. It fluctuates, that kind of thing, or they are very passionate about what they do. I think I mentioned one of the people that I have listed does work on houses. He'll buy houses cheap and then does work on them and either resells them or rents them out. And from what I've seen, mostly rents them out. So there are several channels that just, have absolutely nothing. You can't even make a connection, right? So, and anyway, I thought that it would be useful to see. I kind of got here through a circular method. And so I thought that it might be useful to see kind of some of the ways in which videos kind of cross platforms, so that you end up finding someone that you never would have expected to find because you happened to look at something else that was, tangentially related. So the way that I got here essentially is that, about 4 years ago now, or a little more, I was pregnant, and toward the end of the pregnancy, wasn't really able to do a whole lot. Had to kind of, slow things down a little bit, because, I'm having a baby a little older, and, so they strongly recommend that you, take it easy and things. And I have a couple of other small things going on. So of course they said, hey, don't be pushing yourself, relax when you need to relax. So anyway, so I found myself with a little bit of time to just, do things, look on YouTube and look at different videos and kind of explore areas that were interesting to me for no other reason other than they were interesting. And then after I had my son, we actually spent a little bit of time in his first year trying to get his weight up and figuring things out, because he also was born with congenital cataracts. And so he had a surgery pretty quickly to remove his lenses. But that meant that we had to work on feeding and things like that. And so again, I was spending a lot of time holding a baby and not able to do a lot else. So for the first year and a half, I again had a lot of time to, while nursing or, you know, while holding a sleeping baby, browse YouTube and look online and, you know, look at things that were interesting to me. So what started out was, I found a couple of sites, and I'll ping them as I get to them because the list is not in any kind of order. I simply went down the list of things that I'm subscribed to and kind of remembered, you know, where in my recent history those have come up, and then I picked out the ones that were the most useful and that I've learned the most from, and that I really feel as though I have something in common with. So, you know, some of these are here because they just strike a chord within me. And some of these are here because they're just educational to the reselling community. And some of these are here because they're just flat out interesting. And, you know, if you got a couple of minutes, you should check them out. So, anyway, so I'm going to do the first 10. And then we'll cut it off, and then I'll do the next 10 tomorrow, and then the next 10 the next day. I already have all of them written out, so that'll be pretty easy to do. And I'll throw in a bonus at the end of each one, so it'll end up being, you know, a couple over. So the first one is one of the first ones I actually found, and that was the Dave Ramsey show. Because I was interested in finding, I don't really have a lot of personal debt, but I was really interested in finding out the way that he views debt and the way that he gets to financial freedom. So I listened to, I actually read his book. And for a long time, I listened to his YouTube podcasts and things like that, so that I could kind of gain an understanding for the way that he specifically deals with money and, you know, retirement and things like that. So I thought that was, it's one of those that you kind of take what you can use and you leave the rest, which is kind of my viewpoint on anything. So, so I did that. So I listened to him and I enjoyed some of the things he had to say. The next one is Mr. Money Mustache. He was another one that he has a slightly different approach than Dave Ramsey, of course, but he also had some very interesting points, and I really liked the way that he engaged with his channel and information that he provides. So, so that's why he makes the cut. The next one is the Handyman. And so this guy, from what I'm remembering, he goes and fixes up houses for people and does jobs. He's basically a traveling handyman, and he just goes from place to place and he fixes up these houses and does what people need them to do. And he talks a lot about how he runs his business, and he was really forthright. And that was one of the things that I really like, because I don't think that there needs to be a secret about the way that anyone runs their business. And it seemed really, at that point, refreshing to me that there was somebody on YouTube or just anywhere in the world, you know, hey, I'm making a little bit of money and this is how I'm doing it, exactly how I'm doing it. And, you know, I, of course, am not handy in any way, but some of the things that I took away from watching his videos were fun in the sense that, you know, a lot of times when my husband would be working on something and I would ask a question, it would kind of relate a little bit back to this. I would be kind of like, I don't know, I watched it on the Handyman. So anyway, the Nurse Flipper. A lot of you already know about the Nurse Flipper, so, you know, that won't be a surprise. She is a reseller and also a nurse. So thank you, Nurse Flipper, for what you're certainly going through right now. And she was just another one that I really felt is just, she's helpful. she's kind, she's direct. You know, it's not as though she's hiding what she's doing, you know, and saying, well, you can do it, but, you know, I'm not going to tell you how I do it. So she is another one that is very forthright and straightforward and just really kind. Blue Bus Dave. So Blue Bus Dave, you see a lot of him doing yard sales and flea markets and estate sales. And I believe that he and his family also have flea market tables that they do. And he is very, again, straightforward. You're going to see this as a theme for me. He's very straightforward about what he does and what he picks up and what he thinks that something is worth. And then you see that play out, you know. So I really, really like that and found that useful. XO Rachel. XO Rachel she is just really kind. And she too she's pretty direct about, you know, what she does and how she does it. And I think what I like about her is that she feels natural to me. You know, she's very beautiful. She's just physically beautiful to look at. But she is also not afraid to show her messy side, which of course we all have. And I love that, that comes through in her videos. And she is just so sincere and sweet, that all comes through. And in addition to that, you know, she puts content out that, you know, is really great. Now, I think that recently, I haven't had a chance to watch her as much recently because I've been home. Well, I'm home a lot, but everyone's been at home recently. And so I don't have as much time, you know, to just check things out on Facebook and you know, all the social media places as much as I did recently. So, but I think that she has begun doing these partner sponsorship type things where she collaborates with a small business or something like that, and that's pretty cool. I kind of dig that because, you know, if you can't get out and thrift or source or whatever, certainly that's another way to do it. So I appreciate that she's got these collabs going on. So that's kind of nice. I have, okay, so this is just fun, right? Like, and it will kind of make you appreciate what we're all experiencing right now. So Primitive Technologies. This guy is just, he doesn't talk in his videos. His videos are, this is how to make a wood ash bowl. This is how to make a fire pit. This is how to make, you know, a hut in the middle of the woods. And it's raining while you're making the hut. So congratulations on that. You know, so he is just, I watched a lot of him right after I had the baby because the videos are silent. And it really takes a lot, right? Like I watch him and I think, wow, you know, there was a point where we were all doing that, or exchanging our services for things that other people did, in their, you know, small communities for things. And it's just amazing to me that people lived like that and got to where we are today, right? Like that's just astounding to me. So I really enjoyed it. Kind of was a meditative thing to watch his videos and see, you know, watch him make bricks, right? Like fire bricks, and things like that. So anyway, so that's just a fun channel to watch. Has nothing at all to do with reselling, but it is, it's a nice, relaxing thing to just watch and go, wow, did you see that? You know, so anyway, that's a good one. The next one is Melissa, and I think that she and her husband go by Bloomies is what I think it is. I don't know their actual, like, how they have it set up, because when I went to look at the YouTube for them most recently, it just said Melissa on it. But I think they were going by Bloomies and have that on their thing. And they are just very sweet. They are sweet, and they are natural, and I really have tried since about the year and a half ago or so, when I kind of thought, okay, I'm going to do this. After doing all of this kind of watching other people and absorbing information that was available through social media and social networking sites like YouTube, etc., I decided that, one of the first steps I wanted to take was basically I wanted to reach out and support some of the people that I had been learning from. It seemed, I'm sure that a lot of the YouTube people, I'm sure that they get messages all the time in Instagram and Facebook and wherever saying, hey, I love your channel and I think you're wonderful and blah, 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 blah. And in my mind, it seems like it is more helpful to them if I tell them thank you for the things that I have learned from them by supporting their business. So Melissa is one of the first ones that I actually purchased something from online, and she sent it in just such a sweet package. She really went above and beyond to wrap everything up, and I bought a little bundle, and she wrapped everything individually, and there was, this really, really pretty tissue and ribbon and the whole nine yards, and a card. And then she actually messaged me separate from it, not just a, not just a, hey, your shipment's on the way or anything. Like, I think it was a week later, she sent me a message that was just like a, hey, how are you doing? This is how I've been feeling. This is what's going on, with me. And, and I'm pretty sure that that's just how she is, right? Like, I think that she is just wonderful like that. Like, that is really kind. So, that really struck me. And it's really fun to watch, she and her partner on her videos go do unboxings, and things like that when they do them. And that's been a lot of fun to watch, and kind of learn things from her. She's one of the ones that I've absorbed some information about clothing brands and tags and things like that. So the next one is the Homemade Home. And Homemade Home is, there are 3 channels that are kind of by the same gent. The Homemade Home, the Homestead Craftsman, and Square Inch. And I'm subscribed to all 3 of his channels. But the Homemade Home, I really enjoyed. He is just also very, very direct. Many of his videos, some of his videos have a lot of talking, which I don't mind, because, I like to listen to what he's talking about often. But a lot of his videos, there will be no talking while he's actually doing work on things, and the video will be a little bit sped up so that you can kind of see the progress, right? Not just an all day, like I built the porch, right? He speeds it up so you can watch him build a porch. But he'll talk about that he bought a property and he's fixing it up, and he does almost all of the work himself. There are some things that he will get help from family or other people, or, pay out to do. But for the most part, he tries really hard to do it himself, because, his goal is financial independence. And, he really likes the ability of getting up and doing things at his pace, and having that freedom, right? And I liked how just natural and forthcoming and direct and things like that. And in addition to that, he's subtly funny. every once in a while he will throw jokes in. They're not really, they're not punny. They're not, there will be a corny one now and then, but they're a little more subtle. And if you're not paying attention, it can slide right on by. And so I really enjoyed that. It's just a lot of fun. And you can see, I mean, what I like is that what he's doing is hard. I've been in that position before, in a way, in a small way, where I've helped someone do rehabs of things and get them up to resell them. And, what he's doing is hard work, and to be doing it almost entirely himself. And, he's doing it for his family and for himself and for his future and his kids' future. And, I love that he really shows this is the work that goes into, what you're trying to attain. It's not like you're going to magically get there. So I just think that that's just really fantastic. And I enjoy listening to his videos. So those were my 10 for this video. And my bonus is Will Roundtree. He is another finance guy. And he talks a lot more. It's not the opposite of Dave, I guess, but he has very different ideas than Dave Ramsey. And I liked that kind of counterbalance. I kind of watched a lot of the Dave Ramsey videos, and I watched several other finance videos to get my mind around different aspects and the way that different people handle those aspects and nuances. And so I really liked Will Roundtree's method, and just the way that he thinks and the way that he talks to people about with their questions and things like that. He doesn't spend a lot of time putting people down. He seems to spend a lot of time building them up, which is something that I really like. I just, there's enough things in the world tearing us down. I'm not like a crazy, uber positive. Let's not, look at any negative stuff, but I do like when someone says, well, this is the reality, and here's where you can go from here to make the best out of this. So anyway, so that's 10 plus 1 bonus. I will put the links to the various YouTubes in the description. I will pop up the video first, and then I'll probably edit the video and pop this in the description, because the way that my uploads work, it seems to work a little bit better that way for some reason. I don't know if it's being in the country or my lack of skill with YouTube. I'm not sure. So, and I will probably also reach out to each of the folks that I mention. Not that I expect any of them to come here and watch this, but to at least give them a heads up, like, hey, I mentioned your name on the, U of Tubes, so that they have an idea that, there's some rando out there who's talking about them. So anyway, so that's my list for today, and I'll give you the next one tomorrow night. And let's see, in terms of what sold, I have the pair of leggings from yesterday that actually will go out tomorrow in tomorrow's mail. The leggings are a Massimo brand, and I don't have the picture. I can put it at the end, but I don't know how to put the picture in the video yet. I'm still working on that. But the Massimo brand, I paid $2.50 for them, and sold them for $10. So, plus shipping, I think. So, and then there was one other pair of leggings, and it was a different brand, but the same deal. I paid $2.25 for the leggings, and I sold them for $10. So that's where we were at for the yesterday and today. Sales for me are slow. Tomorrow I'm hoping to list some more puzzles and games. We'll see how it goes. Thanks, guys. And, take this time to just appreciate one another right now. So even if we're all cooped up in our houses and, can't really get out too much, enjoy what you've got going. So thanks very much. Bye.